Good morning, all. Rob with you this morning, and we have bowling, Play.com bowling, um, event 3 of 10, Denver this week. Um, and as always, you can be a part of the channel, not just an onlooker. So, yes, uh, we have special events on different times and different things we have going on the channel. So definitely um, stay updated as to what we've got going on. We're going to have another baseball special, MLB special coming up pretty soon. Um, the third 1/3 of the season is just about over, and at the 55 game stretch of the season, I like to have maybe our 30-minute conversations turn into 2 hours. You know that anyway. But we can definitely do that 30-minute, 45-minute, or an hour, which turns into 2 or 3 hours. Um, our 8 bowlers. Here's our 8 bowlers. Earl Anthony with 20 points. Norm Duke and Pete Weber with 12, respectively. Mark Roth with 7. And I'm watching as you guys watching right here. Chris Barnes with 5. Walter Ray Williams Jr. with 4, Jason Belmonte with 2, as well as Parker Bone III with 2 points. Okay, that's results after 2 events. So let me hide that, and then let me fix that after 2 events. And put a little S on events there. We're going to be set. Save that, and now let's try that. Results after 2 events. Much, much better. That's the way they look after 2 events. Now, for tonight, this is what we've got. Tonight's first round matches. Obviously, it's single elimination is the way we play it. We got 1 against 8, Barnes against Duke, Roth against Weber's 4 and 5. The other bracket, Earl Anthony's number 3, Parker Bone III is 6, Jason Belmonte is 2, and Walter Ray Williams Jr. is 7. All right. Just got myself a swallow of water. I think we're just about ready to go. Don't forget, the bigger the number is the smaller the number is on here. Smaller. I'm sorry. There we go. There's a 2 right there. That's what you want to say. 2s and 1s. There's a 1. Smaller the number on here, the better. As well as this. 1s and 1s, you can roll perfect games. Okay? Chris Barnes now will be going first here in Denver against Norm Duke. First match, and here we go. That's a 2 with a 2, and that is a strike. That's what you'd like to see all game long. Norm Duke will now roll. Whoa. Okay, Norm Duke's going to roll, and let's see how well that is. That's 4 and a 3, and that is a strike. Norm Duke gets to go again. Let's see what happens. 11, but with a 1, that's a strike. Here in the second frame. Now Chris Barnes will go here in the second frame. 14 with a 5 is not good. That's a 9. That's a 9, and now he's looking for the spare. Anything but a 20 and a 6. That's a 2 with a 3. 2 with a 3. Spare. All right. And now he's going to the third frame, Chris Barnes. 15 with a 2. That's 9 pins again. Barnes not looking very good as a number 1 right here. And he needs to get this spare. 5 and a 4. Spare happened. All right, Norm Duke now here at the third frame. Norm Duke. Okay, welcome. Norm Duke now. Let's see what he's going to do. 13 with a 2. That's a strike. That's as high as he can get, though. 14 and a 2 would not be a strike. Fourth frame. That's a 7 with a 4. That is a strike. And Norm Duke has coming out the gate with 4 strikes. Looking very good at this point. Chris Barnes. 20 with a 1. Oh, it's only 9 pins again. Wow. See if he can get a spare. Anything but a 20 and a 6, and that is a 2 and a 4. Spare's good. Barnes now will go over to the 5th frame. 4 with a 5. That's a strike. All right. Norm Duke now. 4 strikes already. First 4 frames. 5th frame. 14 with a 3. Oh, and that we just said it. That could cause problems there. 9 pins. 9 pins. So anything but an open, he'll be fine. 9 and a 1. Spare is gotten. And he's up 31 pins right now. 6th frame for Duke. 17 with a 4. That's another 9 pins. And let's see if he can get the spare. Yes, he gets the spare there. Now Chris Barnes coming off a strike. He's here at the 6th frame. He'd love a strike here. 20 with a 3 is not going to do it, though. It's only 7 pins. 7 pins. 19 with a 1 is a spare, though. All right. Barnes now. 7th frame. 9 with a 5. That is a strike. Norm Duke now is up. Duke. 7th frame. 11 with a 3. That's a strike. And now, in the 8th frame, Norm Duke. 13 with a 1, and the 1 always is good. Strike. All right. Chris Barnes now. Through 6 frames, it's 30 pins difference. Chris Barnes coming off a strike, needs a strike here. Virtually has to strike out to win. 2 with a 5, strike. 9th frame coming. Needs a strike here. 5 with 3, strike. Norm Duke. 9th and then the 10th frame. Let's see what he does. He can close him out right here. That is a leaner. That's a leaner. Let's try again. All right. 11 with a 6. Ooh, that's 7 pins. That's 7 pins. Okay. All right. Looking for the spare. Norm Duke is. 7. And he gets the spare there. Whoops. Not good. Broke my lid on my pencil, but we keep going. We're in the 10th frame now with Norm Duke. He can finish him off right here. Ooh, a 20 and a 4 is not going to finish anybody off, though. It's a 7 pins. 7 plus is what it comes out on here. And 12 and a 1. Yes, gets his spare. Let's see if he can strike here on this last frame. 19 and 5, no. 8 pins is what he's going to end up with. 18, 223. I don't know if Chris Barnes can even catch him at this point, but the only way he can, strike out. 17-1, it's a strike. 78. Yeah, I think he can catch him, but he's got to get strikes here. 11 with a 6 is not going to do it. That's only going to be 7 pins. He's not going to do it. Let's see. Yeah, maybe he can do it. Let's see. Yeah, he's still, yes, he is. He's in sight of it. If he can beat 8 pins right here, he actually will beat him. Yeah, he will. Yeah, 178, and then right there was 27 more. Yeah. Chris Barnes is in great shape here. He's got to get more than 8 pins. 17 with a 6 is a Y. Uh-oh. So we will use the black one is the 10s. The white one is the 1s. 34. That is 6 pins, and he will not win this match. Oh, my gosh. 223 to 221. Norm Duke wins this match. Oh, my gosh. How about that? Last roll of the match. He ends up losing. So I knew it was going to be close, but I didn't realize it was that close at the end. But yes, indeed, Chris Barnes needed 8 pins and couldn't get it. Next match features Mark Roth and Pete Weber. Pete Weber here in the first round. And Mark Roth now. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Here we go. Mark Roth will go first. 2 with a 5, and that's a strike. Pete Weber. You know what? Let's go to the white dice. We'll use the white dice now because it's a little smaller. Yeah, it is. 20 with a 6. It's a U result. Wow. A U result. And this right here could make Pete Weber a professional bowler extraordinaire, or could make him into a dumpster fire. Once again, the blue dice is the 10s. That is a 42 on U. Bowler steps up under pressure. Use the so he's going to roll once on his spare attempts all game long. Wow, no open frames. No open frames at all for him. Wow. So yes, indeed. Unless something terrible happens. All right, Pete Weber will get big advantage there. So let's see what happens now. Here it goes. Ready to roll it, and that is. That's a 6 with a 4. Pete Weber strikes. All right, second frame. 2 with 3, and that's another strike. Mark Roth now. 8 with a 6. Will only be 8 pins for Roth. 8 pins. 18 and 2. That's a spare, though. Now Roth will go to the third frame. 6 with 6. Uh-oh. And that's another 9 pins. That is not what he wants to see. 16 and 3 will be a spare. Pete Weber now. See what he can do. 9 and 4. That is a strike. It almost has automatics. Almost has automatic spares, and now he's just rolling strikes. Weber, 4th frame. 8 with a 5. That's another strike. Mark Roth now, 4th frame. 11 with a 2. That is a strike. All right, Roth, 5th frame. 2 and a 1. Strike. Pete Weber now can get a huge lead if he gets a strike here in the 5th frame. 12 with a 4. Strike. Starts off with 5 strikes. Weber, 6th frame. 6 with a 4. That's a strike. And he is bowling magnificently right now. Mark Roth in trouble, big time. 6th frame. 3 with a 3 strike. 31 pin difference, so big time problems there for Roth. Off of 2 strikes, 7th frame. 5 with a 5 is another strike. Pete Weber, 7th frame. He needs to keep throwing it to him. 5 with a 4 strike. Going to the 8th frame now. Perfect game on going. Here we go. 13 with a 1 strike for Pete Weber. And he is really playing well. 8th frame now, Mark Roth. He's not going to beat him. He's just going to have to do his best he can. 3 with a 6. That'll be a strike. And he's bowling a good game himself, but nothing like Weber. Roth, 9th frame. 9 with a 1, another strike. He's bowled 6 strikes in a row, and he's still getting stomped. That's terrible, you know. Pete Weber to the 9th frame. Pete Weber, 9th frame. Perfect game on going. 2 with a 1. That's a strike. And on to the 10th frame, Pete Weber goes. Pete Weber looking for the perfect game here. Let's see if he can get it. 10th frame. 10 with a 2. Strike. His second roll here on the 10th frame. 14 with a 2. Pete Weber gets a 9. Oh my gosh. And now he's going to try, let's see, 289 if he can get this. Yeah, it'll be 289 if he can get this spare. 16 with 5, spare. 289. How about that? How about that? Man, oh man. 289 for Pete Weber. Mark Roth, just bowling to be bowling now. Strike. And he's going to have a heck of a good game going right here, too. So he should score good points. 2nd and 10. 11 with a 3. Strike. I mean, he is bold. He could get a 269 right here and lose. How about that if he gets a strike here? 15 with a 3, and he gets 9 pins at the end. $268 and loses. Oh my gosh. 289 versus 268. Pete Weber, his 11th ball, rolls a rolls a 9. So, boy, oh boy. That one, that's a heartbreaker there. That's a heartbreaker. So we may even rename this video. We'll see. But that's a heartbreaker there for Mark Roth. I mean, for Pete Weber and Mark Roth, too. Mark Roth, a 268. Probably be the second best game in the first round. And what's it going to get him? The best it can get him is 3 points this week. So that's a shame. That is a big shame there. Pete Weber, though, rolled a great game. We got Earl Anthony, Parker Bone III now. Let's see what's going to happen here. Earl Anthony, first frame. Whoops, that's a leaner. That's a leaner. And lucky for him, too. Would have been not a good roll. Let's see what happens now instead. 2, that's a strike. Parker Bone III will go now. First frame. 16 with a 5, and he's starting off with 9. Everyone has started off bad against Earl Anthony. I don't know why, but they have. And he's looking to pick up his spare. He just did. Yes, he did. Picks it up. Not the best spare man in the world. Parker Bone isn't. And now, here we go. Second frame. 16 with a 5. That's 9 again. And let's see if he can pick his spare up. He does. All right. Earl Anthony, second frame. Strike. 1-1 all game long. He can do that. Earl Anthony, third frame. 2 with a 2. He's just going to keep moving on as long as he keeps bowling these kind of numbers. Parker Bone III. 5 with 3. That's a strike. All right, fourth frame, Bone. 17 with 5. That's 9 pins. Not what he wanted. And that's a spare. Earl Anthony here in the fourth frame. 2. That's a strike all day long. Fifth frame. Here we go. 15. That'll be 9. All right. Looking for a spare here in the fifth. 19 with a 1. That is a spare, though. Parker Bone now needs to get some strikes and get it going here. Let's see what he can do. Yeah. 1 with a 5. That's a strike. Parker Bone again. Here we go. 11 with a 5. Strike. Earl Anthony now. 13 with a 5. That is a strike. 7th frame, Earl Anthony. Strike. Parker Bone, 7th frame. 14 with a 5. That'll be a 9 pins. Okay, see if we can get this spare. Yes, you got it. 8th frame, Parker Bone. Ooh, 17 with a 6 will be a Y result. Y result. Black dice is the 10s. Here we go. 14. 6 plus. So it'll be 6. It will be 6. And that'll be 6 plus on his card. No, on a different card here. 6 plus. All right. 20 with a 2. Only 1 pin. That is open frame. Not good. Earl Anthony now. 11 with a 5. Strike. He's bowling a great game too. He's actually bowling a better game than Mark Roth did. He's only got 1 spare so far. 9th frame now. Earl Anthony. 1 with a 5. Strike. He's at 189 through 7. Parker Bone, I don't think, can win this match. 11 with a 5. He gets a strike. Now 10th frame. Coming off an open frame, though. That's what hurts. 15 with a 1. Strike. All right. Still in the 10th. Strike. Best he can get is a 201. Parker Bone. 14 with a 2. And he gets 200. No, I'm sorry. 210. And 211 was the best he could have got. 210's what he got. And Earl Anthony now, I think, has already got that. He's at the 10th frame. 16 and a 1. Strike. I'm tearing his pencil apart here. 30. 219. He's already got that. Now, see how well he can finish. 13 with a 2. Strike. Earl Anthony. He can get himself a 279 right here. How about that? He gets it too. How about that? How about that? 279. Earl Anthony. Yep. Not bad. Not bad at all. Only 1 spare. How about that? 9 and 1. That's all he had. 279. Earl Anthony. Parker Bone. 210. Final match of the first round right here. Making good time here. 30 minutes here in first round. We may be able to get 30 minutes in the 2 semis and the final and finish in an hour. We'll see. Probably go a little over an hour, probably hour 15. So here we go. Belmonte, Walter Ray Williams Jr. And after the first level of points, I mean, these 2 guys really need some points. So one of them's going to move up in the point standings for sure just by moving up, going to the second round. You're going to score more points. So we'll see what happens there. And let's keep this first round down here. So far, Norm Duke, number 8, is advanced. Pete Weber, number 5, has advanced. And Earl Anthony, number 3, has advanced. Number 2, Belmonte against number 7, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Belmonte goes now. Here we go. 17 with a 2. That is 8 pins for Belmonte. 8. Spare attempt. 19 and a 2. 19 and a 2 is a spare. That is a spare for him. Walter Ray Williams Jr. now steps up. What's up, Darius? 11 with a 3. That's a strike all night long. Walter Ray Williams Jr. steps over to the second frame. Here we go. 9 and 3. That is a strike. And Walter Ray Williams Jr. sits down with the first 2 strikes of the match. Belmonte now steps up off a spare. 12 and a 4. That's a strike. That's a strike for Belmonte. Now he'll go to the third frame. 16 with a 5, and that is only going to be 8. Be on an 8+ scale for Belmonte. Let's see what happens. 6. That's a spare. And Belmonte rolling well so far. Walter Ray Williams Jr. Yeah, LaRussa needed to be gone. Yeah, I agree. He's been needing to be gone. Walter Ray Williams Jr., third frame. 3 with a 6. That's a strike. Going to the fourth frame now. Here we go. Another strike. Walter Ray Williams Jr. And now Jason Belmonte. These guys are bowling hot games here this morning. 1 with a 4, strike. And Belmonte now will go to the fifth frame. 3 with a 6, strike. Walter Ray Williams Jr. First 4 frames, strike, 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 strike. Fifth frame. 13 with a 3, strike. Sixth frame. 18 with a 6, that's a Y. $63 with a Y. That's going to be a Z result. Ooh, not good for Walter Ray Williams Jr. $45. 3 pins is all it is. 3 pins, folks. That is not what you want. So he has got to do well here. 20 with a 1. And he gets it. He gets a spare. Wow. All right. All righty. Jason Belmonte now. 8 with a 4, strike. And now he's just getting right back into the tournament here. Another strike here could put Walter Ray Williams Jr. in some trouble. 2 and a 4, strike. All right. He's catching him slowly, that's for sure. Walter Ray Williams Jr., 7th frame. through 5, 133 to 120. Walter Ray Williams Jr. is winning. 7th frame. 6 and a 2. Strike. And Walter Ray Williams Jr. 8th frame. 6 and a 4. Strike. Jason Belmonte now. See what he can do. 17 with a 6. That's going to be a Y result. A Y result. All right. 33 with a Y result. 6. 6 on the minus side. 6 there. All right, on the minus side, let's see what happens here. 15 and 5. Yeah, I'm good. Spare. That's a spare. Now that light up here makes it too bright. Yeah, I wish I could have it. 9th frame. Here we go. 18 and 3. That's going to be an 8 for Belmonte. All righty. See if we can get a spare here. $15 and 5. That's a spare. Now Walter Ray Williams Jr. takes control of this match now if he gets a strike here. 14 and 2. Ooh, 9 pins. 9 pins. Got to get this clean up here. He got that. And now through 8 frames, it's an 18 pin difference. So a strike here is almost imperative for Walter Ray Williams Jr. 8 with a 5. Strikes. And now he can get a 252. Yeah, 252. That's not going to happen. 16. That's an 8 there. And on an 8 plus, let's see what he can do. It's a spare. So he does get 242. Now, can he catch him? Let's see. Nope. Nope. Belmonte cannot catch him. He can't. He can try, but he can't. That's a strike. Makes it 204. Best he can do is 234. Best he can do is 234. Belmonte will not move on. That's a strike. Another strike would be a 234. 17 with a 4 for Belmonte. Ends with an 8. 232. And he finishes 10 pins short there. And but he will be in the money. He will be in the money. He will get some points this week. And Hayden Garcia, good morning. Good morning, folks. We've made the second round. Let me post up right now the points through the first round. There's the points through round 1. And I will tell you right now who's going to be in the semifinals, the semis. It's going to be Norm Duke versus Pete Weber. Pete Weber almost bowled a perfect game. But then Earl Anthony nearly bowled a perfect game. These lanes are near perfect, folks. Earl Anthony. And then Walter Ray Williams Jr. All righty. John Wise, what's going on? Darius, we'll talk baseball another time. Right now I'm in the middle of this, but somebody else may think so. They can answer that for you. Contreras probably ends up going out west, yeah. From all indications, yeah. See if he goes to, maybe he could go to the Giants, could go to the Angels. We'll see what happens. All right. Norm Duke, Pete Weber. What's up, John? First round matches. Let me tell you this. How about this? Pete Weber, 289. 289. Had a perfect, have it perfect till his 11th roll in 9. So we'll see what happens here. Norm Duke versus Pete Weber. Next match will be Earl Anthony versus Walter Ray Williams Jr. All right. Pick your winner. Norm Duke, first round, rolled a 2-2-3 and won by 2 pins. Pete Weber rolled a 2-8-9. I don't know what Palmyra is. Allergies are tough this season. They really are. They really are. Darius Montre says he's got Weber in this match. Let's see what happens. Pick your winner now before we get going, because here goes the first roll. Norm Duke, semifinals. That's a 14 with a 4. That's 9 pins. Norm Duke. And 8 will be a spare. I don't know where that's at. Which way from Charlottesville? North, south, east, west, northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. All right. Pete Weber. Pete Weber now, first frame. 19 with a 4. 7 pins. All right. 7 on the plus side. 17 with a 1. Gets his spare. All right. Second frame, Pete Weber. 9 with 1 strike. Norm Duke now. See what Norm Duke can do. Oh, okay. Well, I'll take a look on the map in a little while. Norm Duke. Ooh. There we go. 1 with a 6 strike. 20 pins each through 2. Third frame, Norm Duke. 15 with a 1 strike, Norm Duke. Pete Weber now. Pete Weber, third frame. 8 with a 6. That's a 6 right there. 8 with a 6 is 8 pins. Now he's got to get a spare. And he gets that easily. With the easiest roll of all, 1-1. You can roll a 1-1. You can win at this game. Yep. Here we go. Norm Duke. No, I'm sorry, Pete Weber. Let's see. Yep, Pete Weber. Pete Weber, fourth frame. 10 with a 6. 8. 8 minus there this time. Let's see what happens. 1 with a 5. Spare. Norm Duke now. See what he does. 16 with a 2, that's 9 pins. See if he can get his spare. Spare. All right. 5th frame. 11. Strike. And now we go to Weber. Pete Weber coming off a spare. 5th frame. 1 with a 6. Strike. 11 pin difference right now. Norm Duke's in the lead. 6th frame. Pete Weber. 12 with a 4. Strike. Norm Duke. 3 with a 4. Strike. 7th frame. Norm Duke. 16 and a 1. Strike. Pete Weber, 7th frame. 12 and a 2. Strike. Still 11 pin difference. 8th frame, Pete Weber. 2 with a 6. Strike. And he has forced the pressure on Norm Duke here in the 8th frame. Let's see what he does. 19 with a 3. Uh-oh. 8 pins. 8 pins. Now it's only a 9 pin difference. And let's see if he can get his spare. Uh-oh. 8. 19 and a 5. He just did get his spare. But if Pete Weber now, I'm sorry. Norm Duke goes to the 9th frame. Let's see what he can do. 7 with a 1. Strike. Now, Pete Weber can actually take the lead with a strike here. 4 and a 3. Strike. By 1 pin. By 1 pin, folks. And now he goes to the 10th frame. $15 and a 4. 9. And 7. All right. He's got to pick his spare up. No doubt about that. He did that. 20. 17. He can bowl a 2-3-7 with a strike here. 11 and a 1's a strike. 237. And now, let's see. It's all in Norm Duke's hands. Norm Duke. Let's see if he can strike out. If he strikes out, he wins. 13 and a 4. Strike. 14 and a 4 would not have been a strike, but 13 and a 4 is. Second shot, 10th frame. 12 and a 1. Strike. And now, any pickup he makes right here, he wins this match. Norm Duke will win this match. 1 and a 4. Strike. 2-4-7 to 2-3-7. Norm Duke will move on. Norm Duke will move on Pete Weber with that 289 in the first round. Gets eliminated here in the second round. Norm Duke to the finals. Now the semifinals, which could be a finals in a lot of places. Earl Anthony, Walter Ray Williams Jr. A sip of water. All right. Let's go back and show you guys the. Here we go. That was for tonight. Barnes gets beat. Roth gets beat. Bone gets beat. And then Belmonte gets beat. And now Norm Duke beats Pete Weber. Semifinal number 1. Semifinal number 2, Earl Anthony. Walter Ray Williams Jr., Earl Anthony, 20 points this season. Here's the point standings. Yep, we'll go back to the point standings. So Norm Duke could make a big dent in that this week if he could win a championship. Let's see what happens. We are ready. Earl Anthony, right here he goes. First frame, 2-1. You can't get any better than that. Strike. That's a strike. What's up, Smurf? All right. Bye-bye, Smurf. All right. Walter Ray Williams Jr., first frame. 20 with a 4. Ooh, that's a 7-pin. And that is a tough way to start here this second minute semifinal match. And with a 5, that will be a spare. Walter Ray Williams Jr., second frame. 16 with a 1. That is a strike, Walter Ray Williams. Earl Anthony now, second frame. 17 with a 5. That'll only be 8 pins for him. All right, it'll be an 8 plus. See what he can do here. 20 with the 1, and that will be a spare, but boy, oh boy, that's close. Earl Anthony now, third frame. 4 with a 6, and that's not the way you want to do it. Nope, that's 9 pins. 9 pins, Earl Anthony now. 14 with a 2, yep, that's a spare. Walter Ray Williams Jr. now, third frame. Coming off a strike, and that's another strike. Fourth frame off a double. 19, that'll be 7 pins. Not what he wanted there, but he does have an 8-pin lead now. Needs a spare. 18 with 3 off a 7. Yep, that'll be a spare. All right. Earl Anthony now. Fourth frame. 3. That's a strike. All right. Going to the 6th frame. I'm sorry, that was the 4th frame. Going to the 5th frame now. 3. That's a strike. Earl Anthony, 2 straight strikes. Walter Ray Williams Jr. now. 7. That'll be a strike. And the 6th frame, Walter Ray Williams Jr. Strike. Playing well now. Earl Anthony now can take a lead with a strike. 8 with a 5. Strike. 2-pin lead through 4. And now he's coming off a triple. So let's see what he does. 7th. 19 with a 6. It's going to be a Y result. Not what he wanted there. Not what he wanted. A Y result of a 15. 6 pins for Earl Anthony. All right. And now, let's see what he's going to do here. Have a good one, John. Ooh, 19 with a 6. Offer 6 pins. Ooh. 2 pins. That's an open frame. Oh, my gosh. That is not going to be good. Walter Ray Williams Jr. now. 7th frame, trying to jump on it. His opportunity here. 10 on a 5. Strike. Strike while the iron's hot, as they say. And here's his big chance here in the 8th frame. See what he can do. 10 with a 3. Strike. Earl Anthony coming off a open frame, going to the 8th. Strike. Going to the 9th. Strike. A couple more strikes by Walter Ray Williams Jr. This match should be over. 9th frame. 13 with a 6. That's not a strike, though. That's a 7. All right. Let's see if he can get to spare. He got it. All right. Let's go to the 10th frame for Walter Ray Williams Jr. A couple of strikes here, and this should be over. And could beat Earl Anthony the first time he would fall in defeat. That's a strike. Second roll here in the 10th frame. 4 and a 4. Strike. And now for 244 for Walter Ray Williams, if he can get this one. 11 and a 3. He gets it. 244. Walter Ray Williams Jr. And I don't think Earl Anthony has the opportunity to do that. No, he doesn't. Earl Anthony is going to be the loser here. Going to the 10th frame. 12 and a 5. That's a strike. I don't think he can catch him. Don't think so. I think a 231's his best right now. I think it's the best he can do. A 20 with a 5, that's not going to help. That's a 7. 8. Best he can do now is a 218. And he gets it. He gets 218. Earl Anthony. Walter Ray Williams Jr. Walter Ray Williams Jr. Will be in the finals with Norm Duke. And my phone's going nuts over here. Okay. Walter Ray Williams Jr. I'll give that out after this. How about that? All right. Okay. Norm Duke, Walter Ray Williams Jr. There's Norm Duke. Walter Ray Williams Jr. just finished his match And both of them roll great matches here. So here we go. Take your pick for the finals. Let's see how they ranked this week. Walter Ray Williams Jr. is 7th, and Norm Duke was 8th. So how about that? 7th and 8th going against one another. So my two favorite all-time bowlers. Darius says Walter Ray Williams will win. We'll see. Norm Duke will go first here in the finals. 3 and a 2. That's a strike all day long. Walter Ray Williams Jr. now will go. 2 and a 2. Strike. Second frame. 3 and a 3. Another strike for Walter Ray Williams Jr. Norm Duke. Second frame. 9 with a 5. Strike. Everything's been strikes so far in this finals. Third frame. Norm Duke. That's a 9 with a 5. That's a strike. Third frame. Walter Ray Williams Jr. Got to keep up with him. 10 and a 3. Strike. How about that? Fourth frame. Walter Ray Williams Jr. 20 with a 1. Does not matter. It's a strike. Walter Ray Williams Jr. That's all we've seen in this final so far. Strikes. We're in the fourth frame. How about that? Yep, that's a 1, all right. Fourth frame. Norm Duke now. 5 with a 6. And that's the first 9 we see. First chink in the armor, Norm Duke. And now he'll roll, and get the spare. He gets the spare. Now Norm Duke, 5th frame. Nine, strike. Walter Ray Williams, 5th frame. Here we go. Strike. And through 5, he is strike. 6th frame. Another strike, Walter Ray Williams Jr. How about that? Perfect through 6. 6th frame, Norm Duke, here in the finals. 7, strike. Seventh frame. 18 with a 3. That'll be 9 pins for Norm Duke. See if he can get the spare. Yep, he got the spare. Walter Ray Williams Jr., 7th frame. 12 with a 5. Strike. Eighth frame. 10 with a 4. Strike. And that is 8 frames down for Walter Ray Williams Jr. Norm Duke now is up. Strike. Norm Duke. 9th frame. Duke. Strike. But the bigger news now is Walter Ray Williams. 8 frames, 8 strikes. Coming to the 9th. 14 with a 6. Oh, 7 pins. Oh, my gosh. 7 on the minus side. Let's see what happens here. 17-3. Uh-oh. Open frame. Oh, my gosh. And he's opened the door for him. 18 pins. 226 plus 9. 235. He can still bowl a 265, though, even with an open frame. How about that? Norm Duke now needs a great, Walter Ray Williams Jr., 10th frame. He can close him out here if he gets some strikes. 20 with a 6. Oh, it's a U. It's a U result. It's a little late in the game for the U result, but let's see what happens. The blue one is a 10s. It's a 12. It's a 12. So let's see what U result we get. Bowler gets on a hot streak. The next how many balls is going to be with a 1 roll. That's what they're going to call it. Next 5 balls. So all he has to do is roll this then. So he's going to get 3 strikes. Walter Ray Williams is going to get 3 strikes. 1, yep. Because even a 20 is perfectly good. 17, strike. And by striking out Walter Ray Williams Jr., guess what he does? Wins his tournament. 265. How about that? Norm Duke now. 10th frame, 11 on a 5. That's a strike. 98. No, he can't catch him. He cannot catch him. Come close, but can't quite catch him there. 5 on a 5. That's a strike. This is going to be really close to 30, 228, 258 if he can strike out, but it still won't be a 265. 1 with a 6, strike. And he did get a 258. How about that? 258 loses to a Walter Ray Williams Jr. 265, which is nuts. It's just crazy. So Walter Ray Williams Jr. this week picks up the 10 points for the title. Norm Duke gets 7. That helps him a lot. The 2 guys that lost, Pete Weber will get 5 in the semifinals, and Earl Anthony will get 4. The first round guys that lost, well, Mark Roth, 268, did not even get him to the second round. Pete Weber beat him that bad. He gets 3 points this week. Let's see. Jason Belmonte will get 2 points. Chris Barnes will get 1 point. And who's going away with nothing this week? Parker Bone III. Parker Bone III ends up with no points this week. So, let's see. Earl Anthony, we add up his, he'll get 4 this week. That'll be 24 for Earl Anthony. Let's see who has next. Norm Duke. Norm Duke gets 7 this week, so he's got 19 closing in on it. Pete Weber gets 5, so he's got 17. Mark Roth, 3 points this week. Mark Roth has 10. Barnes with 5 already gets 1 more. It'd be 6. Walter Ray Williams Jr. had 4. He gets 10 this week. He's got 14. Jason Belmonte had 2. He will get 2 more. That'll be 4. And is it last one? Parker Bone III. Parker Bone gets nothing this week. He will get nothing and like it, as they say. And he stays at the 2-point mark. So, that does it for bowling this week. We had every opportunity in the world to bowl. How many perfect games? And just did not come to fruition. It just did not happen. It was a chance. There was a chance for it. And Just didn't happen. Um, Prediction for the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm going to say it goes 7 games. They're going to go back to Colorado, and I'm going to say Tampa wins it. I'm thinking Tampa will probably lose 1 at home, and I think Colorado will lose 2 at home. And we'll see what happens there. I think it could happen that way. Or Tampa could win all 3 of their home games and win that 7th game in Colorado. But I like them in 7. I like Colorado. Colorado's a good team, don't get me wrong, but I like Tampa in this series. Tampa getting Braden Point back means a lot. They need him. They need him badly. If they don't get Point back, it could hurt them. We've got a NASCAR. We've got an NHL draft preview we're going to have pretty soon. We'll talk about the kid that says, I belong number 1. I have to be chosen number 1. Well, you don't have to be chosen number 1, but I think Montreal likes you good enough where you will be chosen number 1. We'll talk more about that in the upcoming weeks. NBA Finals, I still like Boston. I think Boston wins it in 7. I think they go to Golden State and win. Well, if they win this next one, I think they'll go home and win. But if they lose the next one and then go back on the road, go back home, I like their chances. I really do. They get the inside game. Yes, you did, Dwayne. You just did miss it. And I'm gonna rename this one 300, or there are going to be 300 games. You may hold on for a second. I will show you the that's the first round matchups for here in Denver. Point standings, I will not give them to you right now because you just, like you say, you just missed. If I give you the point standings, then you know where everybody finished. But that's the first round matches for today's matches for round 3 in Denver. Next matches are in Dallas, Texas. So Dallas, Texas, we go to next. After that, we're going to go to St. Louis. And then we're going to go up to Chicago. So we'll see what happens. We're just kind of making this swerve through the country. And the final matches will be in Boston, Massachusetts. Or we may make them right here in Virginia. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah, you did miss the matches here. I said maybe we could finish an hour and 15. It was good. Not too bad for what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches in an hour and 15 minutes. Not bad. We didn't take 15. It didn't take 15 minutes a match. But you'll see. Were there any 100s? Everybody bowled over 200. Yeah. Now, how about this one? Let's say 225 and over. It was 10 total. Let's say 4, 8, 12, 14 bowlers, 14 different bowling rounds. 220 or over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. 12 out of 14 went over 220. You're going to be impressed. A lot of good bowling this week. A lot of good bowling. Great bowling, not just good. So the Denver lanes were set for them, and they performed like pros should. They really, really did. It was a couple of close matches too, including the championship match. But there were, a couple of blowouts, but not too many. But, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give that thumbs up. If you don't want to give away the results, don't give away the results in the comments. Just say if you liked it or not. The Jabroni Network. We're up and rolling. we may have a new symbol for the Jabroni Network coming up pretty soon, and if we do, I'll be showing that off. But we'll see. I like this one too, but we may have our own little, you know, um, little little difference. Let's say we'll call it a little difference maker there. I'm trying to find a way to make the new camera angle fix on the boxer's card when playing Glory Days boxing. Let me tell you what I had to do. This was no lie. I have a box downstairs that held a weed eater, and I put a hole in the box, put it in a chair down below when I do it like that. It works for me sometimes because I don't have chandeliers and shit, and I don't have clip clip cameras. I got hook cameras there's hook mounts, but not really a click. If you had click mount cameras, you can put them anywhere, do anything. But I don't spend a lot on my cameras. You can actually tell it, I guess, if you watch enough of my videos, that I don't spend a lot of money on cameras. But try to get the best product out there for the folks as I possibly can. Wearing my Manchester City hat, champions again in the European League. I obviously by playing today, no bowling tonight. Okay, no bowling tonight. Bought that new stand, but it focused on the game board. Oh yeah, if you almost have to get yourself a what you call it type camera. What's the weather like, Rob? The weather is hot. The weather is very hot here. Supposed to get 95 today. Supposed to get very, 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 very hot. Let's see. You guys want to hear? Being 10:52 in the morning, I'm gonna say 81. We'll see. Current temperature.
It's 87 degrees and sunny in Hurt.
How about 87? How about 87 degrees? How about that? Feels like 94. 87 feels like 94. Supposed to get to 93 today. Chance of some storms. And yeah. And then tomorrow, 97. And then Wednesday, 96. Thursday, 95. Friday, 95. And then the weekend is supposed to cool off. So that'll be nice. That'll be very, very nice if it does indeed cool off a little bit. That would be sweet. I see Dwayne's doing great with his racing. I enjoy watching it. I hope you guys do too. I hope you support his channel. Alan Shaw, he's still recovering from the COVID. He's had a bad cough for almost 8 weeks now. I was 7. But he's still going out there showing off his basketball games. He's loving the basketball. He's given up baseball on the channel due to the DH rule. He calls that girly baseball. So I give him a hard time about it. Harris Jessup. Harris is doing, Robert Bryant says, 94 here in North Carolina. What part of North Carolina, Robert? We go down to North Carolina a good bit. And I mean, we go to the west end, we go to the east end. So you can ask, we've pretty much, everything but Charlotte lately. We hadn't went around the Charlotte area too much. But we've went north. I mean, we've went to north end, obviously, and then east and west a lot. Because when we go into North Carolina, we're in the north end of North Carolina. We're coming from Virginia. Shelby. Oh, wow. Is Shelby down on 421 leaving Greensboro? Oh boy, oh boy. All right, Dwayne. Yeah, more. Hey, bud. Yeah, you got a good channel going on. That's why I only advertise the good ones, boys. Shelby, is that going on 421 out of Greensboro? I'm probably wrong. I'm probably nuts there. Shelby. Ah, I was thinking Shelby was down in that area. Let's see if I can find where it's at in the map here. Bum, 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 bum. We got pins. We got to catch up with everybody. I've got to do that real soon. I got to find my pins. When I do, I've got so many pins I got to put back in different people's areas. Let's see, where's it at? Oh, wow. Southern part of North Carolina. Okay. All right, I got you. We like it. We like hitting that 321 right there in Gastonia, right there going up to Hickory. Yeah, we like doing that. Yeah, I got you. We go down once in a while. We like going down to Spartanburg. Yeah, I see where you're at now. I got you. You getting over in the mountainous area though. You getting over toward the mountains. We like going down to like Asheville area, and then we like also going. Anytime we fly, a lot of times we go to Raleigh Durham. I've flown out of Charlotte one time. Yeah, we've flown out of Charlotte one time. I like that airport too, Douglas. Douglas Airport's a nice airport. It really is. Handy, clean, quiet. Quiet is the best thing. Anytime you got to fly, the worst thing you hear is noise. A lot of kids screaming and hollering and shit. Yeah, I gets on your nerves. But yeah, Robert, subscribe to the channel, please. All you folks that have subscribed, I owe everybody a. Does David Pearson have a museum there in Spartanburg? I don't know if he does or not. I know there's David Pearson Drive down there. I know there's David Pearson Drive, but I'm not sure if he has a museum down there or not. It's a pretty nice sized town, Dwayne. It's not tiny. It's a nice size. They got 5 or 6 exits. Some great places to eat down there, man. Spartanburg, Greenville, both. They have some excellent restaurants down there off of 85. They have some real nice places to eat. We enjoy going down that way. But everybody that has not got a pin on my map yet, I will get some. I'm going to say Robert Bryant likes. Wow. I'm going to say he likes Wake Forest. Didn't go into the town. Okay. Well, if you go into the town, you know it. It's not, thickly populated, but they have some nice restaurants. They really do. I'm going to say Robert's a Wake Forest fan, but maybe he's a Duke fan. Maybe he's a NC State fan. Maybe he's a Carolina fan. Robert, do you like Duke or North Carolina? Either one. I'm actually he's from Baltimore, Maryland. Maybe he's a UMBC fan. Maryland, Baltimore County, down in Anne Arundel County. Well, it's Baltimore County, but it's down close to Anne Arundel. Oh, he likes Maryland. Yeah. Not far from me, Hagerstown. Yeah. Is Robert also a Baltimore Orioles fan? I've got a lot of Orioles stuff on my on my eBay channel as well. Sell a lot on my eBay network, my channel. So anybody, obviously, um, you buy something from me and leave a note saying that, I'm also a subscriber to your channel. A lot of times I include something else with it or something. If you buy a shirt, if you buy a jersey, I sell all sorts of stuff. I've got Baltimore Orioles jerseys. I've got all kinds of stuff. So, yeah, check out my eBay channel. Not very hard to find there. I'll post. In fact, I'll post it up. You can get in touch with me if you'd like to find something on my eBay network. Orioles chairman and CEO John Angelos disputes accusations he'll relocate the team. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. It just started floating around that Tampa may not be the team that leaves. It may be Baltimore that leaves, which would leave a sour taste in Baltimore's mouth. They've already lost to Colts. They lost to Colts, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And now what are you going to do? You're going to end up taking this team from them. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to go over well if it happens. And, if they end up going where I've been hearing they could go, it could be double the bad taste. Because if they move down in that Nashville area, which they saying that they could build a new stadium for them, and they can guarantee the 10,000 season tickets, which they don't get. Yes. 10,000 10,000 season tickets, they guaranteeing it. That's Nashville if they build a stadium. Otherwise, Montreal is the place everybody's talking about. And wouldn't that be something? Montreal relocates to Washington only to take Baltimore's team from them. That would be nuts. I don't think it happens. I don't think it will. But you can better believe, let me tell you right now, I'm not going to try to hurt anybody's feelings here. If it's up to the Yankees, if it's up to Boston, and if it's up to Tampa, they're not going to want to go up to Canada any more than they have to. They already go for Toronto. But they're not going to want, if you're going to do it, you're going to try to make a Montreal-Toronto trip all at one time. Going across the country, going into Canada is very, very, very difficult. And you don't want to do it any more than you have to. So if you're going to go, you might want to stay a week. I don't know. But it should be interesting. I don't think the Orioles will move. I think there's a better chance they could sail. But Angelos has said on many occasions he's not going to sell the team. And he hasn't done that in the last, they've been talking about for 3 years. He hasn't budged at selling. But this just came up recently, and he immediately put a denial on the board. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to think yet. Watch more news over the next 7, 10, 14 days. If it starts spilling over into ESPN, if it starts spilling over into Fox News and CNN, there's going to be some grips to it. There's going to be some traction to it, and it could happen. If it fades away, it fades away, and, all it is hearsay and talk. But anytime something's brought up like that, you got to take it serious to a little small portion of it, because somebody brought it up. And you don't never know. You never know if it's the owner or somebody within his group that brought it up saying, hey, you know what? We could be moving soon. And the reason they want to do that, obviously, you want to have cities. Hey, you know what? We have a stadium right here. We have a $400 million stadium right here waiting for you. We have a $750 million stadium waiting for you right here. I mean, their stadium is 31 years old. Um, you know, it seems like yesterday they moved into Camden Yards. It's not the most well-liked stadium out there. The food is loved by all in Baltimore, but location's not too bad anymore. Location used to be a bad thing, but the stadium itself is not one of the top 10 out there, and you would think somebody would want to maybe, and they're not. I don't think they're going to put a new stadium up in Baltimore anytime soon. I don't see that happening. So if John Angelos is going to lay the law down and say, look, guess what? We could move. If they move to the right location, Boston, New York's not going to have a problem with it. If they move to Nashville, put a dome on it, they're going to love it. Everybody says, well, they hate playing in Tampa. They love playing in Tampa right now. The only thing they would change is they'd love to have grass there. They realize when they play there that it's going to be 72 degrees. There's a lot of good factors when you go down to Tampa and play. And you're not going to have a lot of fans against you. There's a lot of things. So, some people don't like playing in front of nobody, but a lot of folks do like playing in front of nobody when they know that what could happen is they could have 50,000 or 40,000 people in there totally against you. So, generally, Boston and New York, they travel well anyway. And if they go to Tampa, they probably got as many fans as Tampa does. So, if Baltimore moves and relocates to a location, it could end up being a firestorm, where immediately upon arriving in a new city, he could be forced to sell, or they may say you're gonna have to spend more. So, things like that. Cities don't want a team to move to their city to win 50 games and lose 112. They don't want that. They want them moving to their city so they can win 90, 95, 100, 105, 110 games and be in the playoffs every year. So, if Nashville were to get the Orioles, if they were to relocate, what's up, Dion Roy. If they were to relocate, if Baltimore leaves, trust me, the city that takes them in is not going to allow them to spend $35-40 million a year. They're not going to allow that. They're not going to allow that. Especially if they bring them in rent free. They're going to say, you're going to spend some money or we're going to ship your ass out of here. They'll close the joint on them. Angelos doesn't have that problem in Baltimore. Baltimore built him the new stadium, and they've been happy. They've been happy with everything they got going on in Baltimore. I think it's finally reached a boiling point where people are like, guess what? We're just not going to keep coming supporting your team. And now it's starting to show at the gate. It's starting to show at the gate. And look, they're not that terrible this year. They're in last place, yes. But, a lot of people picked them to lose 100 games this year. I thought they could, especially playing Toronto 19 times, the Yankees 19 times, Boston 19 times, and Tampa 19 times. When that's, 76 games off your schedule right there, that's half season. It's going to be pretty tough. It's going to be a pretty tough, lean year, it looks like. But they've played them tough. They're not 500, no. But they've played a tough season so far. They've been really good. They've been a lot better than, not really good. I'm not going to go that far. They've been better than most people predicted. That's the way we'll say it. So, if Peter Angelos relocates this Orioles team, number one, he's got to find a place that's going to take him in, with as few strings as possible. But no city is going to take a Orioles in and be like, okay, carte blanche. They're not going to do that. You move to Nashville, and they're going to excuse me, folks. You move to Nashville, and they're going to give you a stadium, especially with a roof over it. Spend some money, and I don't blame them. That's what needs to be said in Baltimore right now. But they're not laying a rule down to him, and that's why he's just running around being cocky as everything. So we'll see what happens. Hope you enjoyed my bowling. Also, if you join and subscribe to the channel, we're going to have the maps back out soon, and we're going to spot your place in the world, and we're going to give you a pin. So subscribe to the channel. We're going to have subscribers night coming up probably 2 or 3 times this month. Before the end of this month, we're going to try to, purely for new subscribers. We'll have you on the air with me. So if you've got yourself a camera, you can come on my channel, and we can talk about sports. We can talk about weather. We can talk about your state that you live in. We can talk about whatever. Okay. So I hope you will join me for that. God bless. Be good to one another. Enjoy YouTube. Use what it's supposed to be for. Positive, not negative. And if you're a gamer like I am, find a lot of good places to watch some good games. There are plenty of them out there. See who I follow, run with it, and just keep watching those folks. God bless. Be good. Bye-bye.